So thank you for joining this session. Today I will talk about OKRs and what OKRs methodology have to offer to you as a product manager or your team. Actually, when I submitted this topic, I thought that I will talk about OKRs, but as time was going by, I understood that I will just mention OKRs many times, but I will talk more about different things. I will talk about goals, I will talk about strategy, some roadmaps, I will talk about epics and features, maybe mention some other things like impact mapping and customer journey, and etc. But in all of these topics, I will mention about OKRs. It is yes and no, it is about other things, but OKRs are present in every single topic, and you will see why I think that. So that is me starting with why. And this is actually me. My name is Bojan. I am from Belgrade. I'm curious for years about officially agility, but unofficially that's not just frameworks and methodologies. It's about technology, how they advance with years. It's about organizational structures of successful companies, managerial practices, psychological stuff regarding teams and management. So I learn a lot, I read a lot, and I transfer that knowledge as a trainer to individuals and as a consultant to other companies. And at the end, I am still a person in a body of division head of PM in HD Group. That is last month that happened, and before that I was PMO member of a navigation related company called TomTom. They have their office around the world. One of them is here in Belgrade. So that's me in short, and I'm ex-engineer. So as ex-engineer, during the university days, I understood or learned how Moore's law is impacting our discipline, software engineering. So all that speed of change. So you are probably aware of Moore's law. So every 18 months, processing speed or storage size will double, and probably price will go in half only in 18 months. And there was like speeding of the change, and there was slower periods, but it continued for almost 50 years. But it is not only about technology. So it's not only about the price of storage and the size of storage. It was also about the companies. So Google needed 8 years to reach 1 billion market cap. Snapchat needed only 22 months. And the last numbers I have is that Slack needed only 8 months to reach 1 billion market cap. So it is not only that technology and the hardware is speeding up and getting cheaper. Something is also happening with the companies. So some of those companies are reaching 1 billion market cap much faster than the other companies. And for example, 6 years ago, average company lifespan was 61 years. And these days, average company lifespan is 15 years. So something is also happening in the big companies, not just in technology. So if you think this is evolution, this is more like revolution, because everything is changing, not just technology, although we learned only about technology related stuff related to Moore's law. Okay. Revolution started also with managerial processes. So how are we running those companies? So it started much before, like during World War II, but let's say mass usage of new methodology started 30 years ago with Scrum Guide, and then continued with Agile Manifesto and periods of Kanban and other methodologies, but they were all software teams related, focused on one team. And 15 years ago, somebody said, okay, competition is doing much better than we do. So we need not just to improve ourselves, we need to be the competition. So we need to go faster, even more than before. So let's see what we can do to leverage multiple teams that we have to deliver products earlier. So then we see a raise of Scrum at scale, Scrum of Scrums, agility at scale, safe, less disciplined agile delivery. So frameworks that are doing agility with multiple teams, making them working together, not just as an individual software team. And after that, we saw that other parts of the company, not just software teams, started using agile, being agile, going in that direction. So we saw agile HR, we saw agile marketing, governance, finance, facilities, government agencies going agile, doing agile, being agile. So it is also improvement, is also revolution in this managerial methodologies, managerial processes, not just technology. Okay. Some things remain stable. So imagine that you joined a company, and in that company you meet a lot of new people. There are also some products that are in production, some products that are in backlog being built. They use some technology, they have some organizational structure there. But what happens 2 years later? 30% of the people are replaced with the new people. Some products went to production, some products went to graveyard, some products went to maintenance. There was a reorganization, and teams are not functioning the same way. There are some new agile framework implemented. We are not, technology is not the same. We are now going to cloud. We want to be mobile first, etc., etc. So all of those things changed, but there are some things that remain stable. So big companies, they are still big companies. Google, Facebook, Intel, and other companies, Amazon, eBay, they continue to ride, to surf on the top of this wave, of this revolution. So they also changed a lot of stuff. They also reorganize, but for example, their vision and their statements are still the same. Google still wants to organize the world data and make it available. They still, Amazon wants to be, to offer the products at the lowest price, etc., etc. So things like vision and mission, they are more stable than the other parts, than managerial processes of technology. So that's interesting. But what is also present there, but people do not pay attention, is that these big companies always set their ambitious goals, and they're always trying to get them. So it's not only about the big companies. If you are in sport team, if you have your own Scrum team, or manufacturing, or management team, PMO, business development, you always set goals and you're always trying to achieve them. And they're usually ambitious goals. Imagine that you're working in a sales team or in marketing team. There are also goals there, and they are trying to achieve them. So no matter in what company you are, those companies are setting goals, they are setting ambitious goals, and they are trying to work on them. So other things may change, but companies always set goals. So I mentioned that I will talk more about goals than the OKRs. So this is something about the goals. So wherever you have a team, by definition of Wikipedia, a team is a group of individuals that are working together to achieve a common goal. So if you have a team, you have a goal. So you belong usually to multiple teams. You have family, if you have your own Scrum team, you belong to some chapter in your company, you play football after the work. So there are multiple teams, and they always have goals. So there are a lot of goals there. And goals are impacting, goals are also eating the world like software is eating the world. So Scrum Guide needed to change a couple of years ago, after 30 years. So because all of these changes, and if you are ex-engineer like I am, and if you are agile enthusiast as I am, there is a moment in time in your life where you really want to run Scrum Guide through some online word counter. So this word counter is just like random word counter, probably wordcounter.com, that I found. And the results are, some of them are expected, some of them are not expected. For example, word Scrum is mentioned 10% of times. Word sprint is mentioned 7% of times, so that is expected. Scrum is delivering product in sprints. What is not expected is that user and customer, those words are mentioned only once, and they're not even part of Scrum Guide. They're a quote that is mentioned in the Scrum Guide. So Scrum and Scrum Guide, they are not about user and customer. And I think word value is not mentioned at all. What is also interesting for an untrained eye, I will show it like this. Goals are mentioned almost equally like backlog and team. So they are mentioned 3 times more than owner, product owner. They're mentioned 3 times more than developers. So goals are very important for Scrum Guide also. Okay, so we have goals, goals, goals everywhere. And OKRs, I will talk a little bit about them. OKRs are just like a goal setting framework. It's just a little bit of structure, very small structure that is helping you to organize all those goals you are seeing in your teams and in your company. Okay, and OKRs look like this, pretty simple. There is first part, it's objective. It is one word, one sentence actually, that answer the question, where do I want to go? It should be inspirational, short, etc., etc. There is second part, a little bit bigger, several bullet points. How will we know we are getting there? So those bullet points are actually answering the question, how will we know we are getting there? Or how will we know we're already there? So it depends if you're looking at leading or lagging metrics. So these are OKRs, objective and key results. And a short example. Increase customer engagement in our community platform. So it's like easy objective that you can find anywhere on internet. It is short, it is inspirational, and it's relevant to the company. And you as a product manager, you always ask question, okay, what to do with this? How will we know we are there? How will we know that we increased customer engagement in our community platform? And there is usually 2 or 3 hours meeting, or 2 or 3 meetings, or maybe even 2 or 3 months of meetings where you come up with these key results when you agree that if we reduce membership churn from 20% to 5%, that will mean that we are increasing customer engagement in our community platform. If we improve average weekly visits per active user from 5,000 to 20,000, that will mean that we are increasing customer engagement in our community platform. There is always something related to NPS, so I also added it here. So simple question, how will we know we are getting there? Or how will we know we are there? So there are different ways how you can write these key results. There are different formats, but I will not talk about formats, but there are some things that are really worth mentioning. There are hundreds of blog posts, there are dozens of books, a bunch of OKR training websites, dozens of self-proclaimed OKR experts. They're all saying different things about proper format of key results. You all know John Doerr. He wrote Measure What Matters. For example, he said that key results should have a number because he liked that from a book, Radical Focus of Christina Vodke. But when you read his examples, there are no numbers in many of those key results. And somebody saying, yeah, there should be leading metrics because we want to know if we are doing this, is it making really improvements in our objective? But some others are saying, come on, it's key results. It's simple as that. They are key, they're important, and they're results. So they are lagging metrics. That is what you see, what you measure at the end. So officially, there is no one single source of truth. There is no one single authority that will say this is the proper format. So I will not talk about formats here. Whatever format you use, it doesn't make any difference if you do not know why are you using OKRs or why are you using this or that format. So that is not the point. The point is to understand how will we know we're there, that you need to ask that question at a proper moment in time. Okay, now imagine you join that company and you are high-level PM somewhere up there, and you are discussing a strategy, what you expect to see in your company 5 years from now or 3 years from now. So you come up with some strategy or strategic goals or strategic themes, just to mention some buzzwords. But you, as this is one example. So achieve a dominant position within the autonomous delivery market. So it's a sentence, it's short, inspirational, snappy, memorable. So all good properties of one objective. And now you, as a PM, as a critical chain in this 5-year strategy discussions, you ask the question, how will we know if we are there? Or how will we know if we are getting there? Okay. And there is always 2 or 3 hours meeting, or 2 or 3 meetings, or 2 or 3 months of meetings, because this is strategy, not a feature that we want to deliver. So you have some answers on your question. How will we know we are getting there? So it's strategy, it is a significant investment, so it is agreed among all stakeholders. There is some customer research, market research there. So if we increase the serviceable market to 75% within the next 18 months, we will achieve a dominant position within the autonomous delivery market, or we will be closer to that. If we acquire 50% of new customers over the next 12 months, we will be close to achieve a dominant position within the autonomous delivery market. Of course, there is always some NPS score and some other metrics. So this is oversimplifying a strategy, but showing how it is related to OKRs. And actually, it starts with PM or somebody asking a powerful question: how will we know that we achieved a dominant position within the autonomous delivery market? And these are some key results. Don't think about the format. All formats here have a number, so that's okay, but it doesn't need only to be that one particular format. But you wonder, how is that connected to the reality? So this is strategy, and you always see some roadmaps there. So how is strategy related to roadmaps? So this is some random roadmap without much details there, but you enter your OKRs or key results or outcomes you want to see 3 years from now. So we want to see if something moved in NPS. We want to improve repeat business rates to 80%. We want to acquire new customers, and we have numbers. So how is that related to our current state? Well, if we want to achieve that in 3 years from now, numbers that are happening, things that are happening midway should point in that direction. So you can start as simple as this. In Q2 2023, we want to see a little improvements in some of this stuff, maybe in all of this stuff, maybe in some others. This is again oversimplified because there is not only one single OKR. There are usually several goals and several key results. And these rectangles are showing only what I wrote here, but in reality, there could be key results from different objectives combined in one big outcome that we want in Q2 2023. And in Q3 2023, we want to see those numbers go further. And in 2024, we want to be very close to where we want to be 2025. And interesting, if these numbers are not moving as expected, then probably we should change something. And that is usually our feature strategy or epics we are writing or technology we are using, but these key results remain stable. So this is kind of OKR or outcome related roadmap. These things are stable, but features that we will deliver, they are depending on these numbers. So if we are not going in the right direction, if numbers are not changing, that probably we need to inspect our feature strategy and maybe think about some other products or some other features or something else. Okay, so this is outcome-oriented roadmap. And if you want to transfer that to epic-oriented roadmap, it is not a big deal. So you see what are the goals for 2023 or for Q2 2023. You see the key results there, and you can group them and give some short, snappy, inspirational, memorable objective. some key results maybe do not fit in that objective. Maybe you can postpone it. Maybe you really want them right now. Okay, let's see what we can do about that. So these are the numbers for Q2 2023. And again, you as a PM, you have 2 or 3 hours meeting, or 2 or 3 meetings, or 2 or 3 months of meetings to come up with some ideas. What epics could we deliver to improve the numbers? So these epics are not Jira epics. These epics are 3 to 6 months of work for multiple teams, so they are significant investment. That's why you need to spend time with them. And you are not sure that they will actually move the numbers in the right direction. So if you look at the recording of the session that was at 12 today by Nicolina, you will see she went really deeply in this. So all these epics are actually trying, they are still hypothesis. We believe that when we deliver this, that the numbers will move. So the goal is not to deliver, the goal is to move these numbers, these key results, and epics can help us. And if they do not help us, is it really a good investment that we had? Okay, so this is how you can start with some epic ideas and put them in some quarters. So if we deliver this, then we will say have key results increasing or improving or reaching what our goals in this particular period of time. It also works vice versa. So if you already have a epic or feature-oriented roadmap, you can think what numbers you expect to be changed, what key results you want to move or achieve with those features, and you can start crafting OKRs out of those epics there. But it is much harder thing. It's not hard as a process, but hard as a mindset, because imagine that you have your own pet feature or pet product, and it turns out when you write OKRs and you connect them with strategy that your pet product does not fit that strategy. Will you accept that easily? Will you just remove them from the roadmap or postpone them for later? So then psychology kicks in, and that's why you need the data. That's why I love OKR approach or outcome-oriented approach in road mapping also. So we want data. We want to know what will we get, what is the value that we think we will get when we deliver this epic or this product. And as mentioned, that talk from today at 12 by Nicolina, some epics are done, but they do not move any numbers. Some epics are actually to the point. So we deliver them and we delivered some value and we solve the problems. So you will know only if you're using OKRs. So if you are just looking to deliver the epic, then you will not know, do you really deliver some value or not? Or is it enough value or enough as you expected? Okay. So this is how it goes with connecting roadmaps and epics. And she also mentioned, and I'm also mentioning some famous and accepted format of writing OKRs. So for this market segment and the people who want to purchase airline tickets online, this solution, xyzairline.com, is a website that provides something. Unlike some other company, we are processing electronic tickets refunds. Okay, so this is a short description of the epic, and worth mentioning, this is epic hypothesis statement. So a hypothesis means that we believe when we deliver xyzairline.com website, majority of ticket sales will occur via website. We believe that when we deliver xyzairline.com, call center volumes will decrease. We believe. That is hypothesis. That's something that we want to prove. And we want to prove as fast as it is possible, as soon as it is possible, because these OKRs are not Jira, these epics are not Jira epics. They are 3 to 6 months of work for multiple teams. And it is worth a couple of hours of meetings or a couple of meetings, you already know how that goes, to think about leading metrics that will help us to know, are we going in the right direction? And leading metrics or lagging metrics or metrics at all, it is connected to key results, okay? Less call center activity regarding flight schedules, increased purchases via website rather than phone. You see less that you probably know how much that activity is going right now, and less means the number will be lower, decrease by Y% or something. So increase, decrease, you should probably have the current numbers, and you should probably think what is success means for you. What are those numbers if you are successful? Okay, and again, these leading indicators as a result of value thinking about this epic, you get them with the asking question, how will we know we are there? Okay. And for every epic, it's like 3 to 6 months of work for multiple teams. It should start with some MVP. You should look at MVP discussion from Velimir that was at 10 a.m. So is it MVP or MMF or something else? I will not go there. I will just say a minimal slice that will prove something. So for xyzairline.com, we want to purchase tickets, search for flights, manage upgrades, etc., etc. And with P, my example oversimplified will be small test group of Serbia, only citizens can purchase tickets and manually check in for flights. So maybe it is not minimal, but let's say it's slice and it's product that can already be used. So can we write that in OKR? Well, probably yes. Small test group, what small means. Purchase tickets and manually check-ins, that's to do, but what number of tickets we expect to see, etc., etc. So I use this small description of MVP to be the name of the objective, but that is not the rule. So this is just like, again, oversimplified. So we want Serbia-only citizens can purchase tickets and manually check in for flights. And key results could be, how will we know if we are there? So we want to see if 3 different personas in Serbia market are doing that. Okay, so there is a number there, but this is more like to do than real result. Okay, 100 website purchases in first 30 days. So is it really a minimal if you will wait for 30 days? Well, okay, it is. Maybe you need 1 year to build website. So testing for 30 days is completely okay. So if we have 101, then it's a success. If we have 99, then again, it can be a success. If we 56, then it doesn't mean we failed. That actually means we can pivot, we can improve something and test again that new approach for next 30 days. And call center activity regarding flight schedules in Serbian market is decreased by 10% in the first 30 days. So that was also important. That was also mentioned in epics as a leading indicator. So let's see what will happen there. If we see decrease in 10%, then this solution will be accepted. If we see decrease more than that, that's even better. If we see decrease by 5%, should we change something or should we just drop? Or we can just accept it. Let's continue. Okay, so that's how MVPs and OKRs are connected. You can use OKRs to create better slices for these MVPs because you are thinking about the outcome, and there are usually some numbers, and those numbers can be on some slide. So on some scale, you can change and play around with those numbers, and creating MVPs can be easier. It's not easy, but can be more meaningful. So I just presented how you can think about the strategy in OKRs, kind of mindset. You can think about roadmap and epics in OKR mindset, and how can you slice out MVP in OKR kind of mindset. And it also goes for features. So features also have some format, how they're written. There is usually a problem statement, like customers of our restaurant do not show up when they reserve. And benefit hypothesis, if we deliver, we believe that if we deliver reservation reminders via SMS, we will be able to minimize customer forgetfulness and convert missed reservations into filled tables if customers with reservations are reminded via SMS. So here is maybe also a solution written So I want to deliver SMS reminder. But if you write that, there are also always some acceptance criteria, even in Jira, when you write epics or features, there is also acceptance criteria there. If you write that in OKR kind of mindset, with that in mind, you read this benefit hypothesis and you say, we believe we will be able to minimize customer, minimize. So we probably know the current numbers and what is acceptable number for us for future. Okay, let's see. Reduce no-shows and empty tables by confirming reservations with customers. So for us, it is acceptable if we have 50% reduction in customers failing to arrive for reservations. Or we have 50% increase in activated waiting list customers. So those people that are waiting in front of the restaurant for a free table, although there are free tables there, but you do not know will the person who booked that, reserved that, will show up. And you can play around with other parts of benefit hypothesis and these key results, but you always ask a question, how will we know that this really worked? And it is still a hypothesis. We believe this will work. And interesting thing to look at here, if you read at first OKR, reduce no-shows and empty tables, you see only numbers, you only results. It doesn't mention that you will build SMS reminder. It just says, whatever you do, this is the numbers I want to see. And if SMS reminder does not work, try something else. We want to achieve these goals. And that's it. So it is a little bit of mindset change to think about the outcomes, not only what will be a deliverable. Okay, so the question and the summary of this presentation, how can PM leverage OKRs? So I mentioned they can course correct their strategy. If you have OKR mindset, you can ask powerful questions on those meetings and course correct your strategy. You can fine tune epics and feature scopes because you are talking about the value of the goals achieved, not is it epic or feature delivered or not. That is not success. Done means you wrote everything. Done means you have documentation, you have everything there. But is it really valuable? Does it really help company achieve their goals? So maybe to put that value to be tested earlier as part of acceptance criteria, maybe definition of done. So that is a question, how can you leverage that? You can fine tune MVPs. I just show you that you can use this to help you with MVPs. MVPs are much harder to understand and to craft, but this can be helpful for you. Enrich sprint reports. Sprint reports are not just we deliver this, we solve this many bugs. You can also write, we made this in here, we added value there, and we saw results. Customers are already changed their behavior. You can enrich feature release documentation. So it's not only about sprint reports, but releases to your customers. What value are you adding for them? And it is tested. It is not just like we did this, but we also observed that this is happening much more often, and that is what you asked. You can drive product retros. So when you deliver a product, you can actually do a retro. Is this product moving the numbers that we expect to see in the right direction or not? What can we do differently next time? You can combine them with impact mapping. You can impact them with customer journey. So more about this, I think we can discuss. If you're interested, we can discuss tonight. Impact mapping are very interesting. I had a chat with Gojko about combining OKRs and impact mapping. Gojko Adžić, the creator of impact mapping, the writer of that book. So he's also supporting OKRs and see a clear, almost one-on-one connection between impact maps and OKRs. And that is the summary of my presentation. Thank you for that. And now I am open for questions.
Okay, we didn't get any questions in the chat, so maybe you can just unmute yourself and ask the question directly. You don't have to type.
I can jump in if that's fine. I wanted to ask how and if you track, let's say, how specific features are impacting the set OKRs. So if we say we want to increase, I don't know, acquisition by 15%, and we are implementing a feature that doesn't have such a clear impact on acquisition, how do you track success of those features?
Well, if you deliver only one feature, it still doesn't mean that that feature really made a change. Maybe something else changed, so you have your numbers improved. If you deliver many features, you will not know which one actually helped improve those numbers. But you can always do research, but you can also ask yourself, does it really matter if the numbers are going in the right direction? Maybe I can continue, or maybe I can do experiment and we will invest more in this feature than in that feature. And if numbers are going even faster in the right direction, I will continue doing that. So it's not only about the features, but you are looking at numbers that are happening when you are switching different features on and off or improving them. If you deliver one by one, then it's much more obvious that that new feature really improved customer engagement, etc. So you should track that no matter which feature you delivered or you delivered anything. As example, I know that it's actually example from Gojko Adžić. He told me that he delivered something, and for 6 months nothing happened. And after 6 months, when he almost forgot about that, suddenly he saw like millions of people using his application, because somebody somewhere in US university saw his maps and he wanted to use them, and he said to whole university, let's use this. And suddenly he saw like increasing millions of users coming and using the maps, and he didn't deliver anything for 6 months. So is it really the feature or just some weird coincidence? Not sure, but worth investigating.